Cut the music!
What are you
Cut the
doing?
music! What are you doing?
What's the matter with you?
How many times have I told you don't come in on a down note with upbeat
Are
music?
you out of your mind?
Yeah. Already ruined the show.
Already?
Anyway, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco, yada, yada. You know, we had this whole show planned, awards, all this stuff, but we just got this news, came across the wire. Just terrible, Tony. Wrestling legend, and well, all-around legend, really. Hulk Hogan, dead at 71. Just so much to process here. Tony, your thoughts?
You know, so sad. Just so sad. But are we sure? You know, we have to ask, are we sure 100% that he's dead? You know, isn't this a little strange that this happened right before SummerSlam? Because, you know, I've seen so many wrestlers die and then come back to life. You know, one time I saw Kane chokeslam Undertaker through the ring and down to hell. And everyone thought he was dead too. But then the next week, Undertaker was right back there wrestling against Junkyard Dog.
Great point, Tony. I mean, you know, maybe we shouldn't be surprised if, you know, next week we see Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, we saw this with Hulk before, right? You know,
Totally.
He went away. Then he came back as, you know, Hollywood Hogan.
Yup.
Well, maybe this time he'll come back as, a Heavenly Hogan.
Exactly.
You know, instead of the all black, he's wearing all white.
Yup.
And maybe now his whole gimmick, you know, instead of the Undertaker, who was, you know, dragging people down to hell for eternity, well, he sends you to heaven for eternity.
Yep.
You know, he's like reverse Undertaker, you know?
Yeah, you know, his career did need a little bit of a reboot. And the writers at WWE have been very creative this year. Like, they had John Cena turn bad, and that got huge ratings. So what if they had Hogan turn dead and then alive again? That pay-per-view would do huge numbers.
Huge numbers, Tony. You know,
Yeah.
I got to say, I'm not feeling so sad anymore. In fact, kind of looking forward to SummerSlam now.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
All right. Well, you know, I guess we'll keep an eye on this story as it develops. You know,
100%.
Everyone's going to be shocked, not us.
Just wait, not us.
You know,
of course.
maybe we should get into the show we did have planned as we wait for that to unfold. Because, you know, the annoying thing this week, Tony, you know, a lot of people coming up to us about the ESPYs. Oh, did you watch it? Wasn't it so exciting how the Eagles won? Yeah, we know the Eagles were going to win Best Team.
Yeah,
didn't have to sit through 2/3 of that garbage just to get there. You know, this ESPN, they don't know how to do awards.
No, not at all.
We know how to give out awards on this show.
we
do it
do.
every year. And that's why we're going to be doing, you're very lucky, we're going to be doing our mid-year awards on the show today. And, you know, we were going to call them the Tonys, but our producer back there, idiot, he said that has something to do with Broadway or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard of them before, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, you know, we want to just distance ourselves from whatever that is.
Of course.
So we'll be handing out the Paulie and Tonys. There you go. That's coming up soon. But first, something so big happened this week. And it's our job as journalists because, you know, we're not part of the mainstream media.
Never.
We're the ones who bring you the truth.
Yeah,
so
of course.
we're gonna report on this huge news right now in our top story.
Top story.
We saw this very serious matter brought to our attention by our president. He tweeted on a very relevant subject that's just been on everyone's mind. He came out and said the Commanders need to change their name back to the Redskins. And a lot of people, they think, well, he's just doing this to distract from whatever else is going on. What's more important than this? Do you know, Tony?
Nothing that I could think of.
Exactly, nothing.
No.
You know, the other day, in fact, you know, we were at our uncle's funeral. We picked up our phone. We saw this tweet come up on True Social. We were supposed to give the eulogy, Tony. We had to leave. We had told them we got to go deal with this.
When the president speaks, you have to listen and forget everything else going on.
Absolutely. And that's why we got to settle this once and for all and just put this behind us as a country. And that's why it's time to bring back the Redskins name, right?
You know, people say it's offensive to Native Americans, but I've never heard one person complain about it.
Nope.
And I've been everywhere. Philly, Jersey, South Jersey, even Delaware once. Never heard one complaint.
Me too, Tony. And, you know, the president, he also said, while we're at it, we should do away with this Cleveland Guardians and change their names back to the Indians. And you have to, Tony, don't you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you hear the term Indians, what's the first thing you think of? Major League. Exactly.
Yep.
That's one of the great movies of our time. It's a great American story about underdogs who defeated the Yankees and won. I hate to say it, but the real Indians didn't do that. That's not inspiring. If you ask me, we shouldn't be teaching our kids about sitting horse or whatever. They should learn about other Indian leaders, people like Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn and Willie Mays Hayes. In fact, teachers should be showing Major League in all history classes. Just the first one, not Major League 2 or back to the minors one, because those were terrible.
Well, those were terrible.
Yeah,
But, while we're talking about baseball, Tony, we got to discuss this free fall by the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
Worst slump we've seen out of them in a long time, man. Tony, the morons, they say it's because they're in the middle of the season and they have nothing to play for. Well, whose fault is that, right? Because we see a clear solution here, isn't there?
Yup. 2 words, Ippei Mizuhara. Doesn't anyone notice that when Ippei was betting on the games, the Dodgers were playing better? That's because there was much more on the line, like Shohei Ohtani's entire bank account and also probably his life and the life of his entire family. Those are stakes. If I'm the Dodgers, I'm calling Ippei, getting in touch with his bookie, and giving the entire team the proper motivation they need.
Terrific analysis there, Tony, because, if you look at the roster, you see which player is struggling most. Mookie Betts.
Yeah, absolutely. Most people don't realize that Mookie Betts' real first name is Marcus. Go look it up yourself. He's literally named Marcus Betts, and he's not allowed to bet on baseball. You're basically taking away what he was born to do.
Just so terrible to see a man's rights infringed upon in this country, Tony.
Just disgusting.
And, hold on. We got to go back to football for a second because this just came across the wire. Dolphins QB Tua, whatever his name is.
Tua.
Yeah. It just came out and said that Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill is working to rebuild trust with his teammates after he removed himself from the last game of last season. You remember that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
This is just such an important step forward for the team, isn't it, Tony?
Absolutely. In football, there's nothing more important than being able to trust a teammate and that your teammate won't bang your girlfriend. No wonder the Dolphins lost that game to the Jets. When Tyreek left that game early, all the Dolphins players had to be worrying and thinking, where's Tyreek? Where's my girlfriend? Also, I'm white and my girlfriend's white. Why is my child black? All these were legitimate concerns, but hopefully now the healing can begin.
So beautifully said, Tony. And on the subject of things beginning, we're about to kick off the award show you've been waiting for, because it certainly wasn't the ESPYs, at least the first 2/3 of that crap. It's the Paulie and Tonys. We're going to be getting into it, announcing all the big winners. It's coming up right after a word from our sponsor. As you all know, we've been promoting Fresh Clean Threads on this show. Well, the other day, Tony and I, we had a great idea, didn't we, Tony?
Yup, so smart.
You know how Fresh Clean Threads has black shirts and blue shirts and white shirts? Well, we thought, why don't they have green shirts,
Exactly.
Philly football green.
Yup,
Look
perfect.
at what just came in the mail, Tony. There you go.
Wow, looking good,
Check
Paulie.
it out. All because of us. This new green shirt, so comfortable,
Looks
so
amazing.
breathable. Available now at freshcleanthreads.com. What? Now you're interrupting sponsor reads? What?
You just cost us millions, bro.
Fresh Clean Threads has always had green shirts. I'm wearing one right now. It wasn't because of you. And besides, that's the most obvious idea ever.
Oh, well, here's an idea. Shut up.
Yeah, you're going to be fresh, clean, out of a job.
Yeah, don't listen to that fool. Go get the brand new limited edition green shirt now available at freshcleanthreads.com and never before. And go get the other shirts too, black, blue, whatever color. And remember, enter the promo code Fusco15 for 15% off your entire order. Right, Tony?
Yeah. 15%. Just like our producer has 15% of a working brain.
There you go. Helps you remember. Anyway, go to freshcleanthreads.com now. Fusco15's the promo code. Enter it now.
Yeah.
All right, we're back from break. And, as we said up top, people coming up to us, hey, you watched the ESPYs? Wasn't it so great, entertaining?
Oh, are you kidding?
No.
No.
What, just because the Eagles won? Yeah, we knew that was going to happen.
We knew
didn't
already,
have to sit
of course.
for 3 hours to know they were the best
we
thing.
didn't need them to tell us.
Watching these categories like best male athlete, and they give it to SGA.
Oh, are you kidding?
Are they trying to get people to turn off the TV?
Yeah,
I don't
fall
know.
asleep? Exactly.
Anyway, you sit through all that for that. Anyway, we know how to do an award show, don't we, Tony?
Yeah,
So
of course.
we came up with categories that are way better.
Yup.
Way better than what they did
Not
on
even
that
close.
show. So now here we go. Get ready, everybody. It's time to start the Paulie and Tony Awards.
The Baldi and Don Awards, also known as the Baldi and Tonys.
Okay, Tony, so much hardware to hand out here tonight.
Yep.
And we're going to start with our first category, very competitive. This category is most likely to be on steroids. Yep, the nominees are Seattle Mariners slugger Cal Raleigh, Yankees slugger Aaron Judge, boxer Jake Paul, and making his 20th appearance on the list, LeBron James. All right, Tony, and we go to announce our winner here, and look at this, Tony. We have a 4-way tie between all of them.
Yup.
There you go.
Considering what they all accomplished, you gotta wonder if they're all on steroids.
Right,
Yup.
and people say that's an insult, or we shouldn't be
No,
saying that. No,
it's a
we're giving up a
compliment.
compliment. Exactly.
Exactly.
Like we're saying, you're so good that you
Yeah.
must be taking illegal drugs. Like
Exactly right.
Because
That's
nobody
right.
could be that good, especially
Yup.
when they suck as much as you. So
Yeah, exactly.
makes perfect sense. Anyway,
Yeah, it does.
all right. Let's move on to our next category. A lot of big names in this category, Tony. This one is most talked about athlete who has virtually no impact on anything. The nominees in this category: Aaron Rodgers. Yup. Russell Wilson.
Yep, that's a good one.
Dak Prescott, as always.
Yup.
And again, LeBron James.
Yup.
Okay, and we go, and the winner is Aaron Rodgers, Tony. Congratulations.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow. Congrats to
and,
you.
I thought it was going to be Dak, but Dak actually helped the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so
he
you
did.
can't.
So
you can't.
he did have an impact, technically.
And LeBron James, he did call Adam Silver and ask to have Luka traded
That's
from
right.
the Mavericks.
So that was an
did have an
impact, too.
impact.
Yup, exactly.
All right. And Russell Wilson, the Steelers were relevant for like 1 week last season.
Yeah, they
which
were.
is more
That
than
was
the
an
Jets.
impact. Yup.
So there you go. So Aaron Rodgers, well done. There you go. All right.
Congrats.
All right, let's go. Oh, this is a big one, Tony. Very competitive again. This is best building a career entirely out of complaining about trans women in sports. All right, the nominees in this category: Clay Travis, of course,
Yeah, of course.
Riley Gaines,
Oh, yeah. Yup.
Jason Whitlock,
Has to be there.
and dark horse in this category, Bobby Burack.
Yeah, welcome
All
to the
right.
list. Yeah.
We're gonna look at big winner, Tony. I think it was expected though. Riley Gaines takes
Yup,
home the
of
prize,
course.
and
Yup.
when you break it down again, very competitive. But I do think I heard Clay Travis and Jason Whitlock discuss something other than trans women in sports once or twice
Yes,
over the past year. But
that's
I've never
true.
heard Riley Gaines
Never.
say that. Which
That's
and again,
it.
with just an accomplishment. To show how committed
Just
she
such
is.
dedication.
No
Yeah.
matter which side of the argument you're on here, you got to respect the commitment.
Yup.
The
That's what.
commitment.
Yup.
That's what it's all
we're
about.
handing out here. Yup.
Okay, and that leads to another category here. This one, most boring athlete. All right, the nominees in this category, Tony: Scotty Scheffler, of course.
Of course.
Simone Biles, definitely.
Yup.
The entire OKC Thunder. Yup.
Totally. Yup.
And again, LeBron James, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, and the winner is. Oh, look, Tony, we forgot to write down the winner.
Yeah.
I-
Did we? I don't remember who the winner. Yeah, we didn't.
We must have gotten so bored thinking about it
we
that
fell
we just
asleep.
forgot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, anyway,
that's
whatever.
right.
Who cares? Nobody
Okay,
cares
who cares?
anyway.
It's
All right.
boring anyway.
All right, let's just
Yep.
move on to the next category. This is best non-comeback of the year. There was actually only one nominee in the category, so we're going to go ahead and give it to Tom Brady. Congratulations.
absolutely.
Constantly said he was going to come back. There were stories about it, and then
the
he decided
Raiders,
not to, sparing us all of having to watch whatever that would be. So good job, Tom Brady.
Good job to you.
The best comeback is actually the not coming back, right?
Absolutely, just leaving everyone alone. Yup.
All right, let's get into our next category. This is Best Canceled Sports Show. Okay, the nominees are Speak, Breakfast Ball, and The Facility. Okay, and Tony, the award goes to, of course, The Facility.
Yup,
there
no
you
question.
go.
Absolutely.
It had everything, Tony. Former athletes and also a great title. It had a great title, didn't it? I mean,
it felt like I was going somewhere, like they were taking me inside the locker room.
Exactly. I felt like I was out and about, or seeing in a place, That's why I've never understood, other titles like First Take.
They're not taking you anywhere,
No, you're not going anywhere.
No.
All right. This one, Tony. Very competitive category again. This is Most Obvious Tanking. A lot of great nominees in this category. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Yup.
Oh, yeah.
The Dallas Mavericks trading Luka. Yup.
Oh, yeah.
Malik Beasley betting the under on himself all the time.
Of course. Yup.
And all of Russian tennis.
Oh,
always.
yeah. That's a big
All right.
one.
And the winner in this category, gotta hand it to him, Mike Tyson for the Jake Paul fight. Of course,
Didn't throw a single punch the entire fight, which is so difficult to do.
That's how you perfectly lose a fight. You just never throw one punch.
Exactly.
Guaranteed
to ensure
loss.
that you don't win. Yup, exactly.
There you go. And that's
there you go.
Great job. Half the honor. Okay.
Yup.
And well, that leads to our final award of the
It's a big
evening.
one.
The big one, right, Tony? Of course, we're
Yup.
talking about shittiest athlete. Lots of nominees in this category. LeBron James,
Yup.
Jake Paul,
Definitely.
Brock Purdy,
Sucks.
Ben Simmons,
Yeah, he sucks.
Aaron Rodgers,
Awful.
Angel Reese,
Yeah, sucks.
Sam Darnold,
Sucks. Terrible.
Shohei Ohtani, for letting
Yup.
his friend go to jail.
Yup,
Shitty.
unforgivable.
All golfers, because, golf is not an actual sport.
It's not a sport.
The guy in the PBA who bowls with two hands ruined everything.
Yeah, ruined
and
it.
finally, of course, Dak Prescott.
Yup,
And
no
well, Tony,
explanation
here we
needed.
go. This is it, the big award of the night. Let's open up the envelope
Drum
and
roll.
see. Let's go to the envelope and see who has won. It is for the 12th year in a row, Tony, Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
there you go.
of course. Congratulations
There
to
you
you,
go.
Dak.
Congratulations
Yeah,
to all the
well-deserved.
winners, including the audience who just got something much better than
Absolutely.
the ESPYs. Now you know.
That's
Anyway,
how you
that
do it.
is a great way to cap just a terrific show. Of course, we want you to visit our sponsor, Fresh Clean
Yup.
Threads. Get
Yup.
that 15.
Fusco 15.
Hold on.
Oh, no.
Are you kidding me?
Someone whose job is hanging by a thread that we should cut.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. What do you
Corrections.
want? Wow.
Corrections.
Go.
You said Cal Raleigh was on steroids?
No, we said maybe.
Yeah, try listening, bro.
Yeah.
No, I heard what you said, and I think it's reckless to say those things with no proof.
Oh, yeah, well, you want to see no proof? Wait until I kill you and hide your body.
Yeah. You know what won't be reckless? You, after I run you over with my car.
Oh, great point there, Tony.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
does it- oh,
What?
you're still talking.
What?
What?
You really think they're going to bring back the Redskins name?
Watch it happen, bro.
On president's orders, bro.
The president doesn't have that power. The NFL is a privately held company, and each owner controls his own franchise.
Oh, yeah, well, you're going to be privately held. Underwater when I drown you.
Yeah. You know what's going to have red skin? Your ball sack after I kick you in it.
Oh! Oh, can't wait for that, Tony.
Yeah,
And,
me too. Let's get out of here. What?
You said Dodger star Mookie Betts should be allowed to bet because his last name is Betts.
Yeah, bro.
Makes total sense, bro.
No,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't. And also, his name is spelled Betts. 2 T's, not one. So again, just dumb.
Oh, yeah, well, you know who else is a Dodger? Every woman who sees you come up on that Tinder.
Yeah, and after the show, I'm going to go play with your mom's 2 T's. Oh, you're done.
Yeah, great one, Tony.
Yeah,
and,
he's done.
Oh, look
He's
at this.
sulking.
Who's coming up on the show next week, Tony? No one's going to be sulking when they hear this.
Who?
Super Bowl hero, Eagles legend, Nick Foles will be here.
Wow, that's huge.
Don't forget, you rate and review the show on
Yup,
Apple
rate and
Podcasts.
review.
You subscribe and
Yup.
like and you comment,
Yup, you share
say whatever
everything.
you want.
Yup.
We'll possibly read it. And
Yup.
you don't forget, you visit our sponsor, Fresh Clean Threads.
Yeah.
Fusco 15,
Fusco
15%
15.
off.
Yup.
And Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.